Hello, beautiful Pisces. My name is Ivona Rose, and welcome to my channel, Rose Healing Light. Thank you for being here. I'm really happy that you stopped by to watch my video. This will be a reading with spiritual guidance for the sign of Pisces. So for you guys, for the month of December 2022. And it will apply to your sun sign or your moon, your ascendant, so your rising sign, or also you can watch it for Venus. And I usually say also that you can watch it if you know your chart, your astrological chart. You can also watch it for any other placement where you have Pisces in your chart. Yeah, you can try that too. um, we just to let you know as well that when I do the readings, I connect with the angels and with the archangels mainly, and I've already asked Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron to be with us, to send us some protection and some blessings, to make sure that the reading goes well and I can deliver, and I can obviously deliver as best as I can. Yeah, I think so. So let's just yeah, I think that's all for the moment. Let's just go ahead and get started. I've already drawn most of the cards. We may, I don't know, we will, if we need any clarifiers, obviously I will get some, but at the moment I've got all your cards ready. So let me start with the theme for the month of December for you guys, for Pisces. You've got the theme called Awakening. And Awakening, it says that the card says energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So what I'm feeling from this card, many of you probably have already been on a path of awakening, transformation, right? Transition. You probably, many of you have gone through various bigger, smaller changes in your life, healing process and things and similar things. So, but for the month of December, it feels like there is also so there's actually a connotation. There's also some things I will talk more about. Other cards, I've got tarot cards, which they suggest that there'll be an aspect of a new beginning, probably closer to the new year and in the new year, the way they the cards show at the moment. I will talk more obviously what are the details about it, but what I'm feeling from this card, it's the awakening is a bit of a process. I wouldn't say that an awakening is also like a process. It's more internal, right? And obviously it does mean that there are still changes happening, probably more inside of you rather than outside of you. So, or very often we have to go through, let's say, a healing process and transformation on the inside before we can, let's say, start manifest new and better things into our lives, or before things manifest, let's say, in a better way for us. So I think the card is just reminding you that you guys are still in the process of awakening, to continue with your practice, with your meditation, to continue to take care of yourself and take some rest. So this is how it's coming as well. Yeah, and there will be some probably action that you will be taking, of course, you during the month of December, but in terms of like the whole aspect of your awakening and what will happen, what you are, let's say, preparing for into the new year, perhaps I'm going to talk about in a moment. So let me just, let's start. So it's all, I think there's a lot about, let me just show you. I don't want to, okay, this is, so we'll start. So this is your past position, 4 of Earth. And in the position of present, so this is a present, but I also take it as a center point of your reading. You've got the Dreamer, which is the full card, sorry, in the traditional tarot. And this relates, so this is, so as I mentioned, this does suggest that you are guys, you're starting, it's a bit of a new beginning, you are starting something new, or maybe a new way of manifesting or manifestation. But the rest, and because in the future, so let me just show you also the future card. You've got the Ace of Earth, all together with the 5 of Earth. But I feel like this is more important. It's like a new way, as I said, new way of manifestation coming to you. And also, I feel like you are also manifesting, so you are part of the process, right? And it feels, and because we do have like the Earth cards, right? So like Pentacles, it suggests a lot that this is a lot. So this is about abundance for you, and about also, more so I would say, about, for example, like physical or material abundance, right? So abundance, sorry. So it's like about potentially money, you were trying money, finances. It could also be about career changes, because this can indicate that you can get, let's say, better salary or higher income. But the main point is, yeah, that it's about finances, money, and also material aspects of your life. So material possessions, it could also be a home, and yeah, and things like that. So let's start maybe before we go. So with the so in the past, so as I said, there is an indication that there is a new beginning, but I would say that there is a new beginning coming closer, like either towards the end of the year, or even this is more towards the future, and maybe even in January. But you are coming from, so this is your past position, 4 of Earth, and this card usually, so this card signifies that you have been either you have been over, so it can go both ways. Either you've been too frivolous, so overspending with the money, or you haven't been spending enough, or you were a little bit, you were obviously very cautious, tight, I mean a bit maybe miserly, right, with money. It could also be with possessions, because it's perhaps similar or the same, right, but some material things in your life, like maybe exchange. So you're coming from, I think for me, the tighter, so like the restrictive nature, right, and the fact that you were, either you or maybe someone around you, so it could have been a pattern in your life that there was like a tightening of money, or like maybe not having enough, right, and restrictions. But this is the past position, so it feels to me like you've been probably doing quite a lot of work to bring this to balance, right, because this card actually does suggest that something, it talks about, yeah, I felt like it talks about, for example, there is not like there is no balance, or there's an imbalance between, for example, giving and receiving as well, very often in the material sense, or financial sense. And this is, yeah, and this is also true for you guys here. So, but that's the past position. So in the past, let's say you're kind of an aspect of money, finances, or some material things, which were either you were one side, either you were not spending enough, maybe there were restrictions, maybe you felt you didn't have enough money, maybe you wanted to protect your money. Anyway, the way you were obviously dealing with money, or on the other hand, some of you guys, maybe you were just overspending or spending frivolously wherever you maybe needed to a little bit pull back, right, and maybe put something into savings. But it will be individual. I think the most important point you get, right, that this is about some aspect of imbalance to do with money and finances, and obviously then it can relate to maybe not having, let's say, sufficient income, or not being paid enough, or paid, yes, enough for whatever you were doing. Yeah, so it would suggest that maybe you were trying to change careers, so anything like that. And it does, but it does also come with the clarifier card, which is the 6th chakra archangel Metatron. And this card actually, so let me just talk a little bit. So this card would actually, even though this is a very material card, right, this is the 6th chakra, right, so this is the 3rd eye chakra. And this chakra is a lot about intuition. It's also about your psychic ability, but I feel more it's about the fact that you've probably started to work on things, or maybe manifesting, I don't know, better abundance into your life, obviously higher income, better money, various aspects. But you also have, so the intuition was part of the journey already, right? So I feel like most of you would have also used your intuition to perhaps even understand your imbalances, or understand perhaps what you were doing wrong, and trying to listen to perhaps in your inner guidance and your intuition, right, to understand how to correct it, right, or perhaps how to heal your imbalances inside of you, right, how to transform, and how to make things better for the future. So it seems like the intuition is here being reminded that obviously it was part of your journey, and I would suggest it will continue to be part of your journey, right? And so now in the present position we have the dreamer. We have it with the man holding a heart card, which is also interesting. It suggests that probably there is someone around you, probably very much, it's probably a man who cares about you. Maybe it's a romantic partner, maybe maybe this is someone who you consider like you would like to maybe be with them. I don't know, it comes, yeah, but and he will, so probably this person is going to help you perhaps to start something fresh. So the dreamer is the Fool card. And here to me it does, because you've got also an Ace of Earth in the future position, so I would say that it indicates an aspect of a new beginning, right? So but it's also an aspect of a new way of, for example, dealing with things, right? So it could be a new way. So you've been, obviously the Awakening card tells you and tells me that you guys have been transforming and maybe healing for a while, and awakening, right? So it's a process. But it seems like maybe it will be the time, so perhaps, because this is the December reading, right? So in December you may start to see, I don't know, maybe like a new way of dealing with things, so that some clarity is going to come to you, and it may be also the time to start something fresh. and approach maybe things differently, right? So, but it does, yeah, but it does feel like it's just a new beginning in terms of how maybe how you deal with your finances, right? How much you spend, how much you save, and perhaps any other matters relating maybe to your income. So maybe you have been trying to change your job, maybe start a new career, um, anything like that, right? But again, so I think, but a new beginning that is coming, and it will be present. And this man in the month of December, and this man, I feel like it can also be a friend or someone who is, but it's of the heart, so someone who definitely cares about you, will be there to help you, right? And it does feel like it will be maybe there to help you perhaps restart something, or start something fresh or new, maybe something that you didn't, maybe you couldn't do before, right? Or maybe you weren't able, something like that. And let me maybe, so before I move to the future, actually, let me show you, this is your challenge position is Ace of Fire. And that's why I said, you know, with the awakening card, I said be patient with yourself, guys, because awakening is a process, right? And it feels to me like you probably need to balance like the doing. To Ace of Fire does talk about taking action, and taking action towards a goal, for example, or towards something that you set for yourself. But because this is in a challenge position, and it does feel like because another ace is, you've got an Ace of Earth in the future position already, and it feels to me more like towards January. So so the challenge is like probably be aware, and you don't have to maybe take yet so much action, right? If you are, so obviously you've been going through some healing, perhaps maybe spiritual energy healing, which then expands your intuition and your awareness as well, right? So the more aware we become about of ourselves, our emotion, that, well, it isn't always, then the more aware you become how, for example, you want to act and where you want to act, right? So this, and also you become aware of, for example, your own blockages and blocks inside of you. So what I wanted to say, apologies, guys, I've had that. Let me just have a bit of a bit of water. My throat seems to be a bit dry. I feel like it's just paying attention to how you take action, and I would say don't rush with anything, right? So I would say it feels like December doesn't mean that you have to do everything in December, or even you have to start in December, but you may have a lot of, for example, ideas. And I think the dreamer tells me that you will feel, but the dreamer is the 0 card, right? So also it's like it's a fresh start, but there is still a lot of learning, right? So I would suggest don't rush with anything. You may feel like urges inside of you, or you may feel like prompts that you want to do that. And I would say go ahead if you feel sure of it, or you feel that you want to do it, try, yes. But just, I think I would say small steps as well, right? So not anything big leap. I wouldn't say this is about big leap of faith, right? Like big leaps of faith, if that makes sense. But remember also to always take time to perhaps with the awakening card, maybe to do your meditation and to do your practice, right? So that's in the challenge position. Apologies. And going back now, sorry, towards the future. So you've got the Ace of Earth, and this comes with the 5 of Earth. And very often, so the 5 of Earth is usually like the card of luck. Yeah, so the card of not having enough, right? So where we talked about abundance, so obviously not being abundant enough, maybe not having enough money for, I don't know, everything that you wanted to buy. Maybe your income wasn't high enough, various different things. But because I feel the stronger message here is that's why it came kind of like this. So the Ace of Earth was the main card, and this felt like a clarifier. So I would say that the Ace of Earth is just telling you guys, and with the dreamer, right, with the number 0, that it definitely, there will be, and it is a new beginning for you. And it's a new beginning. It feels like also a new beginning in terms of manifestation towards material aspects, right? So finances and any other material aspects and material possessions in your life. As I said, it's a process probably, so it won't happen straight away overnight, and not all in January. But I think just the main message for you guys, yeah, it's a new way also of manifestation, and a new way where you want to take action. And I think you will be taking action based on a new level of awareness, right, that you've gained, because you've been going through this awakening process for quite a while, I would say, for probably many months or maybe many years for some of you, right? And I would just suggest, yeah, so I think it's a positive confirmation, and it's a confirmation that you are coming out of that lack of that material, let's say, scarcity, material lack position, right? Which would then which would suggest that obviously your card from the past, the 4 of Earth, Yeah, it would suggest that obviously there was a problem with like maybe exchanging even like money, right? To like giving and receiving. Maybe you were not receiving enough money, right? This can also come like this, so some aspect of an imbalance, which was causing you feeling, yeah, like an aspect of scarcity, right? Of lack. And now it seems like it is going to get better, guys. And also why I'm saying that it feels positive, but it's also because actually, so this is also another clarifier for those two cards. And this is cornucopia card, which normally means, I think it's like a sign of plenty. So I would say it's also about abundance. And I think the cornucopia, because it came upright, and I find this card always very beautiful. I think it just confirms that obviously this is a new beginning with regards to your material abundance, finances, money, and any other material aspects. Yeah, so I would say it's probably just a positive news for you guys. This is just a confirmation. Sorry, this is a confirmation. I don't think that there is anything else I need to add, right? Yeah, to this. And just to show you also, that's in the environment position, you've got Page of Earth. So it's also about material aspects, finances. But because this is in your environment, and it felt like it's either it's messages and also some people who might come potentially to advise you, yeah, to give you some kind of an advice, for example, on whatever you want to do, right? Or you want to try to manifest now, because obviously and in terms of like abundance and your material aspects and finances. And yeah, and it felt also like someone may come and, for example, suggest also an aspect of education. So someone may suggest to you, for example, for example, a book to read, or an online course, for example, to buy and attend and to listen to, right? To just learn also more about how you can, let's say, deal with money. So like in terms of finances, right? How you can, I don't know, how you can understand money better and maybe on a deeper level, because money obviously is first thing is just paying attention to how you spend. So your income, so money coming in and how much you spend and how much you want to save, right? So like the obvious stuff. But we can also learn more about, you know, our, let's say, deep ancestral patterns. So any deeper aspects and issues about money and how we are affected, and we are still probably affected by the way, for example, our parents and grandparents were in the past, right? And this may still be manifesting in your life, and therefore maybe you didn't have enough at some point, right? Or there were obviously some issues here. So yeah, I would say just messages, helpful people, advice, like giving you helpful advice, right? And perhaps, you know, just suggesting like a book to read or an online course to do, and mainly in respect of the finances, right? So it's probably also about career, but for example, I don't know, how to scale your business or get a higher income and things like that. With regards to, I've got one more card. Actually, this is a card. I usually take this card as an advice card. It's a card from a Moonology deck, and it says actually assess the situation. So that's why I was telling you guys, maybe not rush. I mean, take, you know what, the challenge Ace of Fire is like a new way of taking action and even feeling prompted. I would say go ahead and definitely, if you feel sure, take action towards maybe doing some research and and take action towards what you like. If you are sure about it, yes, but at the same time, make sure that you have enough time also to maybe look at, I don't know, anything that you have learned about yourself, and for example, how you spend the money or how you earn the money, or what was the relationship, let's say in the like connotation, like, so there's a relationship with someone, right, that can affect your money. And we do have the man holding a heart, which would, sorry guys, which would indicate that obviously there were some perhaps even issues maybe in romantic relationships, perhaps even issues in your parents' relationship about money and things like that. So yes, I think the card is just telling you and confirming that take time to kind of, let's say, assess the situation. And I would say you will be having a better like a better or a higher level of awareness at that point, I assume, just because you've been going through the process of kind of healing, awakening, transforming. And so pay attention. So always maybe rethink it, assess it from a new perspective, and then go ahead and take action. Your outcome card, though, your outcome card, which is just apologies guys, it's actually the Hermit card, which is interesting here. I'm just trying to feel into it. The outcome, I mean, the outcome for me, it's also something that just it's kind of like unlocking the whole spread, but I feel like it's just I think it's also relying, we talked about the intuition, right? And about some other like deeper aspect, like you using intuition. So this is, or maybe using even like energetic, like energy healing and methods and practices which help you expand also your awareness. But I feel like the first message, because the hermit very often can represent, let's say, the higher soul, the highest, let's say the higher source. So like the God, spirit, universe, right? And I feel like this is all interrelated. And I think the outcome is telling you that, remember that you are always, from the highest perspective, you are always protected and provided for, right? So sometimes, so perhaps maybe having, if you have a meditation practice or a prayer practice, just make sure that you remember that, let's say, your highest source of, let's say, of your money and abundance is coming from God or spirit or universe, whichever way you want to see it, right? And I think this is one of the messages. The other message does talk about perhaps maybe you feeling a little bit alone in the process, right? And also in the month of maybe December, I don't know, well, I think this is for December, so let's just talk maybe. But you feeling alone, but you see, whenever you feel alone, then I would suggest that maybe this would be just an indication to just make sure that you always trust. If you feel confused because people maybe are advising you too much, or maybe because of some other issues which haven't been resolved, then remember that you can always a little bit kind of withdraw, right? Come to yourself and perhaps maybe just change your thinking that you are always protected and provided for by God, right? By the universe, by the spirit of all, basically. So you will never, like, you will never be lost, right? And you will never, like, there will be always, more to come, even if you've lost the money or something bad happened, right? And I feel like this is more of a message just to remember that you are protected and provided for, right? Yeah, and just to, yeah, just to help you not to feel alone or isolated. Um, yeah, I think I've just talked about all the cards. I've got one more card for you, Pisces. This will be an angel card. So let me just draw the card as the ending. Yeah, this one is for Pisces. Okay, this card case. Okay, I think the card. Who did I don't remember. It just came for I think it was Aquarius, but probably a very different message. I don't think that they had so much about money and abundance. This is the card Surrender. I do see the light in the center, like, chest of this man, right? So the center chest is your heart chakra or your higher heart. But I do feel it's also like surrender. To me, very often this card represents letting go of, let's say, control and control issues, but on the basis of surrendering to the divine, right? So surrendering to the higher power. Yeah, surrendering, and maybe that's why the Hermit card. So we've got as an outcome Hermit card, which actually tells you to look up, yeah, not to, yeah, to look up to God, let's say, or source or universe, right? However you want to call it. So not to get maybe entangled in the mind game as well, right? Because it can be too much. So don't overthink it. And surrender, the surrender card does confirm, like, the healthy surrender to God. If you don't know, if you have moments of doubts, right, you don't know what to do, and you don't have to, remember also with the challenges of fire, you don't have to rush with anything, right? So don't rush if you don't know, and just give yourself enough time to as I said, surrender, but do it in a healthy way. And it's also about letting go, right? So use your practice, like, I don't know, if meditation or your energy healing or any other healing work is helping you with also just to clear your energy, release attachments maybe from the past. It comes also here, like, to remind you that it's also about letting go of control and control issues from the past. Yeah, and by the way of perhaps working with your practice, right, like meditation, prayer, healing practice, and working then with your mind, knowing that you always look up to the divine for that, right? Like, the divine is the highest power in your life, right? No one else is higher than the divine, right? And the divine and God spirit are always there to help you, right? And this will, so just remind yourself, and it will help you hopefully to shift some of your perspective and perception so that you can feel more steady. All right, I think this is so I think this is it really for you guys, Pisces. Thank you, and I hope, thank you for watching the video till the end, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please do share it with your friends or hit the like button, subscribe. Will very much appreciate it. I'll be grateful. I also wanted to wish you a beautiful Christmas and wonderful holiday season, and or anything, because I know not everyone celebrates Christmas, so anything that you celebrate. So obviously a wonderful, let's say, holiday season around that time. And I'm hoping, I hope to see you on my future videos. Yeah, I'm sending you lots of love, and take care of yourselves. Bye.